Hey guys, welcome back. We got a follow-up video. We got PSA saying some stuff. We got deceptive marketing all over this bad boy. We got PSA now talking circles about it. I guess a response, I assume, to my video. My criticisms, my emails that they kind of didn't respond to anymore. They're going to try to disassociate themselves from this machine. We're going to blame the vendor a little bit, all while ignoring the bigger issue, which is the PSA dealer who is behind it and happens to be linked to a bunch of fraud. Alleged fraud. Disclaimer. Here it is. Read it if you gotta. Pause it if you gotta. All right, let's get into the details here. So we have the PSA vending machine. It's kind of gross. I don't like it. People are like, oh, Rattle. They can just avoid it. People shouldn't be wasting money on this stuff, so they should know it's a scam. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that's a justification for having this bad boy. I don't think, to begin with, even if it was run legitimately, PSA should want branding on it the way that it is put on there. Now, even worse, if you have to, go back and watch that. There's more detail than we're going to go through here. This is a recap before we get into the new information. We have Justin Rumpf, who is the president of Cannon Rock, who owns the vending machine. This is the PSA dealer, who they are conveniently not mentioning at this point in time, because maybe they realized, oopsie doopsie, there's some bad things going on here. Now, our boy here, Justin Rumpf, both Justin and the other employee, Jessica Larswell, are both linked back to Heroes of the Sport, which is accused of being scam mystery product, Uptown mystery box sold through Pristine Auctions. Both of them, both tied straight back to Will Jamett and Jesse Craig, who are two of the most well-known, infamous card trimming, box scammeriniing people, according to many online articles, like the ones on Sports Card Radio, and on blowout forums as well. There's many documented examples of the sketchiness that was going on there. Now, why is there no mention of this? Is PSA doing something about this in the background? Who knows? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I am going to say that any of the information that I provide, the same way that Blowout provides, the Blowout Detective Agency 312, who did a lot of this work, it's all available to these grading companies. And it's up to them to do the right thing. To use that information, they can use it with their information, their internal information, that these people don't have access to, that I don't have access to find out what's going on here, to do the right thing. They seem to have a problem doing the right thing. I get it. You're a business. There are motivations behind selling to someone, selling to a mystery product, partnering. The partnership here is it gets a little dicey, because at some points, as we're going to see through an article and through statements of PSA, sometimes they're buddy with this dealer who is, again, probably attached to two people who are, I assume, very banned from PSA. Again, if PSA would like to make a statement on that. I'm not sure why they can't make that list, the people banned from their company, banned from using their services. So him being a vehicle, allegedly, because, again, no one was convicted of anything here yet at this point. Now, the machine itself, pretty damn gross. We have false advertising with the $180,000 deactivated Charizard on the side. We have a Michael Jordan on the other, being a boy. And then we have the blowout thread with the card trimming accusations, plenty of evidence, Heroes of Sport boxes not being made in advance, most of the hits being sold through PWCC where Jesse was working, etc., etc., etc. It all looks really bad. The people involved, the people that these people were working with prior to and acting as a front, allegedly, looks real bad. So did PSA know this in advance? Is this a surprise to them because they provided the information? Who knows? Thank you to everyone that has been documenting all this stuff. It makes my life a lot easier when I can go back and reference, hey, this person was working with this person that was doing bad things, that was wronging people. I want these grading companies to crack down on this stuff. Most of the time when they're talking to me, guess what they say? They're like, oh, Rattle, we appreciate all your work and everything else. But then when it's something that's critical of them, or I catch them with their pants down, doing something naughty, whether it's intentional or not, in this case, whether or not they looked into, I don't know what the process is to become a dealer with PSA, but we've seen a few times now where it hasn't worked out too well. Can we agree on that? We got Mark's cards. We got Ludkins. Do we need more? Do we need another example here? Cannon Rock. Is Cannon Rock the next one? I guess at this point they're not submitting cards for other people. They're doing it themselves. Whoop-de-doo. Be careful. Again, maybe the vetting process needs to be better than what it is. So we have a PSA statement here. It says, update regarding the PSA branded vending machine currently live in Las Vegas. These vending machines are owned and operated by an external company who is a PSA dealer, submitting raw cards to PSA for authentication and grading, which are then being used for repack business. This machine, however, is not owned, operated, or controlled by PSA in any capacity. It sure fooled a lot of people. Despite this third party's test run of the machine has unfortunately created some confusion as to PSA's involvement. No wonder. Now, their PSA is going to pretend that they didn't see this machine in advance, that they didn't see it. The public saw it before PSA did. Like, come on, give me an absolute break. And you're going to see why, because the people at PSA, it had to be approved by several people, surely, to put plaster PSA all over a vending machine that's a gambling machine, slot machine, essentially. Instead of money, instead of a ticket that it's printing out that you go bring to a cage and get your payout, you get an instant card in your hand. And again, the stuff that's coming out of it is absolute junk, which is not a surprise. No odds listed, just like the old mystery boxes that they were doing with Will and Jesse, allegedly. So it looks like the same thing. This looks bad, and I get it. PSA, maybe they gotta keep up. They gotta keep up in the dick measuring contest that is the monthly submissions. Oh, it's great. It's not us. It's them providing the gambling. We're just providing the cards. We're just grading the cards. But also, we were gonna have the machine at Nationals. Spoiler alert, it was going to be at Nationals. Same machine. We are working with the vendor in real time to adapt the look and feel of these machines to feature less prominent PSA branding and or make it clearer that they own and operate these machines, not PSA. It shouldn't say PSA on there anyway. PSA should not want their name on there, on the machine itself. Say it's graded cards if they show some of the examples that are PSA. Now, if they show examples on the machine itself, it is, again, super deceptive to not actually have cards that are potential pulls, to not have a list or something that shows these are the cards that you could potentially get. If you're gonna wire it up, you're gonna set it up, you should be able to show what is left in the machine, right? So then people can make an informed decision. It might be a poor decision. It might be a ripoff to begin with. Most gambling products, most mystery products, most repack things, the reason the repacks is people getting rid of stuff that they don't want. And yes, we got like dollar cards, sub $1 cards, Japanese art rares that they're going to get a 10 most of the time. And you're going to pay $50 for that or $75 for the sports cards. Like it's absolute garbage. So I have a reply there. We'll get into that later on. But first, let's take a look at the national page. So PSA is going to pretend that like they didn't know what the machine looked like. I guess that's their excuse. They're gonna change it up. We have the current PSAcard.com/info/2024-NSCC. So the national PSA at the national. They were previous to my video. They were advertising the fact that they had mystery products that were going to be available. Here it is. This is what it looked like before they removed it. Super stealthy, like it didn't save images of it beforehand. And here it is. Mystery boxes. Unlock complimentary graded cards, PSA merch, hobby packs, and so much more with PSAs. Possessive. '(S) mystery box vending machine. So it's not the vendor that was being deceptive. It's also PSA that's being deceptive. Or it was a closer knit partnership than they want to let on. Because this is the same box used in the machine. You think they didn't know that? Do we have to play that dumb? The whole thing is just so greedy. You don't need to do this. You don't need to put it off on someone. Oh, it's somebody else doing the mystery. You should want as little to do with that as possible. If this was an honest attempt at, no, this isn't us. This is PSA, doesn't do gambling. We're not associated with gambling. We don't want to be associated with gambling. We're a third-party grader. We grade your cards. We're unbiased. Everything else. Then they wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't want their name on it. They would be like, hey, take the PSA off the machine. You can show that the cards inside are in a PSA graded case, but it shouldn't have a great big PSA across the top of it. Like it's pretty gross. So they're playing dumb here, and they're doing the wishy-washy kind of nonsense. Again, I provide any of this information for these grading companies at no charge. I'm not going to say which grading company it was, but there's a grading company that offered me a salary, and the condition was that I could no longer name people in my videos. So I turned it down. That was not possible. I said no, absolutely not. The content is, it's important to know if people are, if I'm going to inform people, if I'm going to help people learn, hey, this is what's going on. This is the lack of transparency in areas. This is people that are potentially wronging others in the hobby. It's important that I'm able to do that with full disclosure. Do we not agree? So no, I don't care. The information is free. Take it as you will. If you want to stop talking to me, then you stop talking to me and you find out in a video what's going on with your company, how you goofed up, or how you did something dirty and you partnered with somebody that you probably shouldn't have. The same thing with CGC. When we got Matt Quinn on the phone, who's going to tell me that he loves my videos and what I do and all this other dumb shit for the community, XYZ, and why CGC is partnered with somebody that's been banned by their competition, all of a sudden, oh no, he gets quiet. Send me questions in an email that I'll never answer. That kind of thing. So just be honest. I don't care if the grading companies make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. I don't care which grading company is your favorite grading company. I don't give a shit. I don't see value in it. I think it's stupid to be trusting 30 seconds from someone that probably knows less than you if you've been in the hobby for a couple years. You should be able to judge whether or not a card is real. You should be able to judge. Now, if you're doing it because you want to sell it, you think it's good because it's third-party opinion. That way it's not like a guessing game of what condition is this thing in. There's still going to be issues with that. But if it reduces that, if it makes sense, voila. This like false pumping of numbers is gross. The mystery box repack shit is fucking gross. And everyone is jumping in onto it because it's not the pandemic anymore. It's not free tendies anymore. So the free tendies are now in gambling. That's why you see Whatnot, the gambling games on Whatnot. And then the issue with all the gambling stuff is the fact you're going to have people that are going to abuse the system. They're going to rig it. They're going to Blake Martinez the living hell out of it, allegedly. So there it is. Now we have collect.com has a nice little article here. This was released after my video, so I don't know if this was a conversation they had before, after, or both. But we're going to go through the entirety of this because I think it just kind of shows the back and forth and the lack of consistency in what PSA is saying, their lack of action, their at least visible lack of concern on who they're partnered with here. And again, it's up to them. It's their investigation to be had. I'm going to provide my concerns regardless of whether or not they want me to, and they can do with that what they will. Would it be nice if they were actually transparent and they said, hey, yeah, we messed up. Oopsie doopsie. I mean, to begin with, this should never have gotten to where it was, regardless of whether it was an honest vending machine or by somebody who's questionable and linked to questionable people. Following days of confusion, PSA issued a statement Wednesday distancing itself from a PSA branded vending machine. So I guess it's after the statement, which again, I'm assuming in direct relation to my video, which the majority of my concern is who is running this vending machine and the lack of honesty from PSA, because their story doesn't make sense. You either were on board, you were partnered, but you weren't partnered, so you can't have your cake and eat it too. You were claiming it was your mystery machine, and whether or not it was going to be free at the National doesn't matter. It's still promotion of that vending machine for that person that you partnered with, which I question. Distancing itself from a PSA branded vending machine placed in a Las Vegas casino. And that's the thing too. For all the people in the comments that are just like, oh, people are dumb and let them get what they deserve for being dumb. That's not an excuse. You shouldn't want to be part of that. The same with the crypto pump and dump shit. It's almost exactly the same example. That's not an excuse. Just because people are dumb. We saw the Boogie thing recently where he's telling people, be dumb and broke like me, but people bought into it. So no, it's not an excuse that, only dumb people are going to fall. Only dumb people are going to get ripped off with this, so it should be allowed. Who are you to not allow dumb people to, get ripped off? The logic on that is so unethical. The whole thing here is unethical. The whole mystery box thing, the whole CGC partnering with somebody that's banned by their competition that they can't even mention. They're advertising for it, but they can't even mention him like they do everyone else that they partner with. It's so unethical and gross. And again, who's calling this out? Is anyone else calling this out? They don't want to deal with the sports card dudes that have been accused of trimming and rigged mystery products. No one else has the balls to say it because they got to put their own neck on the line to show this stuff. No one's willing to do that. Everyone's a fucking pretend Rattle Pokemon until there's something on the line, until there's something for them to lose. Keep that in mind. First publicized by Casino Kings, a YouTube channel dedicated to gambling in Las Vegas, the vending machine allows customers to pay $50 for a random PSA graded card. The machine features the PSA logo on the outside in addition to images of PSA graded cards that are allegedly available to win. The argument that you can't expect to win a first edition base Charizard PSA 10, then don't put it on the fucking side. Yes, I've seen comments that people are like, "Oh yeah, just buy them all and you'll get that Charizard and it'll all be worth it." No, it's not fucking in there. It's deactivated. It's false advertising. And people say, "Oh yeah, it's just an iconic card." Well, no. If it's not in there, it's bad enough there's no list of what's available, what's possible to pull out of the machine. It should be an updated live list so that if whatever the big card is, if there is even a big card, then if that's pulled out, then voila. Do not put $50 in this thing until it's empty. I can almost guarantee everything that we've seen, even if it's a 10, is not even anywhere close to what the price was that people put into this thing. And they don't have to. They do not have to put anything over $50 in it, because why would they? And again, they're grading this stuff probably at a discounted rate. If PSA is giving the old, handshake in the pants, they're probably paying close to nothing in grading fees, and they're putting sub $1 cards in these PSA 10 cases. Please, do not touch anything like this. Do not promote it. Do not make fancy videos. It's not good. It's not. Repacks in general, 99.9% of them are not good for the hobby. People just rebuying the same cards over and over again. All of these auctions, like the auctions that I've shown, where people are buying this stuff and people are buying these like really trash slabs that never should have been graded ever at any point. The people that are buying those, not only should you not buy them, should you not grade them to begin with, but the people that are buying them once they're on the market for cheap are the people that are putting them into more repacks. So people are just buying these same repacks over and over again. That is not good for the hobby. That is not a smart purchase for anyone. That is not, it should be frowned upon. It's gross. The heavy use of branded imagery quickly led collectors to assume the vending machines were created and run by PSA. Experienced collectors, people that make video, people that make content that are around this stuff, that are around graded cards enough to know or should be able to tell the difference. It was so branded by PSA. I talked to 3 PSA employees before the 4th one told me that it wasn't their machine. If PSA employees can't fucking tell that this is not their machine, how is the average Joe Blow consumer that's going to put $50 into this thing? And yes, that is not it's not PSA's machine. We don't have to worry. We just lend them the PSA name so they can grade more cards with us. No, that's irresponsible and fucking gross. It's gross. It's gross. It's a gross business practice. PSA, who is on top of the grading game right now, should have no reason to slime tactic. Slime tactic, we've seen it many times by the new grading companies, the ones that are trying to play catch up. Maybe PSA in the earlier days. Maybe BGS at some point. All of them. They've all done slimy shit. But to be on top of everything, to have everything going, new partnerships and everything else, a vault and eBay and all of this shit going for you, and to do something slimy like this, even if we fully assume that they didn't know who they were dealing with as the dealer, if none of that was taken into account. These vending machines, quote, are owned and operated by an external company who is a PSA dealer, submitting raw cards to PSA for authentication and grading, which are then being used for the repack business, PSA wrote in a statement. This machine, however, is not owned, operated, or controlled by PSA in any capacity. Despite this third party's test run for the machine has unfortunately created some confusion as to PSA's involvement. There is no way The only reason that they're making a statement on this, they don't care about the confusion of PSA's involvement. They care that they're getting flack for it, and they should. Even if you're a PSA fanboy through and through, you have PSA slabs coming out your fucking ass. You should be pissed off at them for this move. It makes them look bad. It does. It entirely does. I'm going to be honest with them. I'm going to be honest with everyone. I know people like to defend to the death a grading company or one over the other, or say that AI is going to be the fucking thing, even though we've seen time and time again where it's not really AI. It's just scans that don't even show giant dents or don't detect fake first edition stamps that are in the wrong spot and the wrong shape and size. We are working with the vendor in real time to adapt the look and feel of these machines to feature less prominent PSA branding and or make it clear that they own and operate these machines, not PSA. No, you shouldn't want anything. You should not want any tie to it. If they're claiming they don't want any tie to it, they're not associated with it, then you shouldn't want PSA written on there anywhere other than the fact that if they want to show what the contents of it, if they want to show PSA slabs on it, they can. It should not say PSA on the machine itself. It should not be a PSA graded card machine. It should not have PSA anywhere other than if it needs to show what is potentially able to be pulled from that machine. And no, it should not have cards that cannot be pulled. It should not have $180,000 cards on the side of it. I don't know how much the Michael Jordan is, but it's probably also very expensive. Maybe, I don't know if it's more expensive than the Charizard. Let me know down below if you know. The third-party company that owns and operates the vending machine is Cannon Rock LLC, a PSA spokesperson confirmed to collect. We are working with this dealer. PSA President Ryan Hodge told Collect of the company's relationship with Cannon Rock. There was clearly a miss on the branding of this machine that wasn't in line with our brand guidelines for a partner company, so we're working with them to change it. Bullshit. My opinion here, absolute bullshit. You had the box that said nothing on it about Cannon Rock, but has PSA logos in the middle. They had the machine that has probably the same wrap from the same place, if not directly from PSA, on the machine that was on their booth at Card Party 2. You come on now. And you're going to, we're make-believe land here that we're going to pretend that we've never seen this machine before. PSA confirmed to Collect that the company has a limited collaboration with Cannon Rock to develop a similar machine for use at its year's National Sports Collectors Convention in Cleveland. So it's collaboration. They're not a partner. They're just a dealer. But now they have a collaboration where they're advertising the machine. Again, none of it makes sense. They're you're pick one. Are you attached to the machine or not? You can't have the best of both worlds here. The original plan for the vending machine was for giveaways to customers who transacted with PSA through on-site grading, drop-off submissions, and PSA Vault submissions. You think, was Cannon Rock not getting anything in exchange for that? Hard doubt. There's no fucking way they're just bringing the machine there. They're going to cover up. They're going to pretend it's PSA's machine at that point in time. They're going to make it look different so it's not associated and people aren't excited about it and it doesn't get all free press and everything else. You don't get a bunch of people posting on social media that, hey, look what I got out of the PSA vending machine. And then they're like, oh, I know where that PSA vending machine is. That's the one in Vegas. That's the one with the PSA 10 Charizard on the side of it. Holy moly, guys. Please don't let them fucking fool you with this shit. Just be honest. Time and time again, it's just so easy for these companies to be honest and to be respected as such, and they prove time and time again that they're going to snake and weasel. This is so snaky and weaselly. A promotion mentioning the vending machine on PSA's website was removed amid the confusion. Or was it removed because I criticized it? Unlock complimentary graded cards, PSA merch, hobby packs, and so much more with PSA's mystery box vending machine. The advertisement read. Well, we looked at that, and yeah. Hodge said PSA's relationship with Cannon Rock is merely for branding. Okay, so it's for branding, so they had permission. Again, we're going to play dumb. We didn't see the machine. We didn't see the machine before anyone else. We didn't tell them anything before anyone else. It's only an issue now. Voila. Again, never any mention about who the dealer is. You would think that they would say the dealer. We aren't investors in this company, nor have any financial incentive beyond the dealer grading cards with us. Well, whoop-de-doo, it seems like you might, because you were going to have that machine at the Nationals as a promotion device that would be, even if we were going to assume that Cannon Rock is not getting anything out of the exchange, it's still weird. So are you paying Cannon Rock for the cards that come out of the machine? Would PSA be paying them for the cards, or Cannon Rock's just going to do it out of the good of their heart or for advertising? We are lending branding to the project. No, it is a very tight partnership if you're going back and forth with the machine. If they had permission in advance, if they had permission all the way up to, using PSA logos, using PSA's pattern, using PSA cards on the side of it, and then a tiny little, ooh, Cannon Rock. This is Cannon Rock, not PSA, guys, on the bottom. That took how long before I could even find that, because it's so hidden. Even if it says it in big letters, it's still deceptive. According to Cannon Rock's LinkedIn page, the company specializes in automated retail solutions for the collectible industry. Multiple requests for comment from Cannon Rock CEO Justin Rump were immediately returned. Justin, would you like to have a chat? Would love to talk to you. In addition to the uncertainty surrounding PSA's involvement, collectors have spent recent days discussing whether or not the vending machine should be considered gambling. It is 100% gambling. My apologies. Anyone that is saying that it's the same as buying a booster pack from the Pokemon company is you have the Dr. Applesauce brain. That's his fucking argument, and it's ridiculous. The fact that someone's going to compare the trust that should be involved with the Pokemon company randomly distributing cards where they do not benefit from the aftermarket. They don't directly benefit from more hits, less hits. They just want to sell more product. The good stuff, they don't have any incentive to not include any good things. Not directly. I mean, people are going to argue that, they could just put no hits in it ever. And then people are going to buy more product because they want the hits. Well, at the same time, also people are going to get discouraged and not want to buy the product if there's no hits in it. There's a reason why these companies, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, whoever else, they don't want to acknowledge the secondary market value because they don't want any involvement with that, because it's a conflict of interest. The same way that if PSA is putting cards into this machine, if PSA is too involved with it, it looks bad on them because they're competing with the consumer that's going to be grading cards with them. And they clearly have a giant advantage to do so. So no, dudes that are associated with trimmers, with people that have wronged people in the hobby already, with mystery products, allegedly. There's a ton of information in the previous video about it that leads me to believe that this is a giant concern with that. But also just, we've seen time and time again, it's so easy for wrongdoers to hide wrongdoing within a gambling product. And it's gambling. My apologies if you want to call it something else. It's gambling, and it's being controlled by something that isn't regulated. It doesn't even show you the odds. The same way their old mystery boxes didn't have lists or odds or anything like that. It's not transparent. While some hobbyists have claimed it's no different than paying to open a pack of cards. Yeah, the dumb ones. Others have expressed concern over the fact that the machine has no listed odds or checklist. No, it doesn't. Just like their mystery products before that were largely criticized as being a scam. The lack of transparency was further pointed out by content creator Dan the Cardman, who first noticed the 1999 first edition holographic Charizard PSA 10 advertised on the side of the machine had a deactivated certification number. So we got an article here by Ben Burrows, pretty well written. Again, we're getting he's getting the runaround. I got the runaround. Everyone through the tweet from PSA is getting the runaround. This video is definitely longer than I intended, but I think it's important that we go through all the details here. Now, my response, of course, we're not going to get a reply to it, but I asked them, have you looked into this specific dealer, though? Any concern with Justin Rump's links to Will Jamett and Jesse Craig? I mean, that would be my concern. I'm not PSA. Never will be. Here you go. Here's what my concern is. Are you concerned about a PSA? What is the vetting process to become a dealer? Was it missed by PSA? And then also asking, why did PSA remove the mystery box information from the Nationals webpage? Same boxes, same branding by PSA as the ones from the dealer. Free samples and advertising, ? Whole thing comes off as greedy and irresponsible, 100%. All of it, regardless of what the actual story is behind it, that they're kind of hiding and skirting around. It's just gross. I hate to see it. I want to see, even though I don't collect graded cards. I never will. I do not see the value in it. I want to see the grading companies treat their customers with respect. This is disrespectful. This is gross. This is a spit into the face of anyone that uses this company. Whether they want to admit to it or realize it or not, this is PSA spitting in your face if you graded cards with them. Because if they're going to take business from people that they maybe need to vet a little bit harder, same with CGC. If they're gonna partner, if they're gonna put you on the back burner while they grade cards for somebody else who's gonna provide more business, who's gonna get a better rate than you, and is gonna use it to exploit gambling machines with no odds, with zero transparency, and PSA is willing to put their name on that, the same way CGC was willing to advertise the Omega boxes. It's gross. You should be, regardless of how much, you could be the biggest, you could have PSA tattooed on your dick. You could be the PSA's #1 fan, and you should be upset with them. I'm disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed in what they're doing here. And again, the lack of communication, their lack of concern, when time and time again, I've brought genuine concern to these companies. And instead of doing something about it, instead of doing the right thing for their customers, they fuck them. They absolutely fuck their customers on this. Time and time again. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. And good on the people that are calling them out on this shit. Because we have Get Good Dad here saying, I mean, this isn't a PSA vending machine, ? Perhaps you should use some of those upcharge fees for better lawyers. Again, PSA is not going to PSA would have approved this. I would be baffled if they didn't. It's PSA. Not only is it a giant PSA logo on it, the wrap is the same wrap. The cards are the same cards. They were going to have the machine at Nationals. You think they didn't see the machine beforehand when they were going to have it at Nationals? You think they didn't see the box that they posted on their own fucking website? Blows my mind. Shame on you, PSA. Absolute shame on you. Fix this shit. Fucking own up to it. Fix it. Look into your dealers more than you have been. And if you did look into them, and it is as bad as it looks from my end of things, shame on you for that as well. Fucking gross. Have a good day, guys. Have a good weekend. Happy Friday. Love you. Join the Discord.